It all started with a spark of ambition, a room filled with machines, heavy keys pressing commands into the future. Then came the personal computer, the consoles we grew up with. The digital dream became personal. And suddenly, we were all connected. The internet lit up the world. Cities, buildings, lives, linked by invisible threads of light. But for all of this to happen, something powerful had to be built. Silent, cold, and tireless. Data centers rose like digital temples, the beating heart of a connected civilization. Now, every blink of light is data in motion. Every flash, a signal of progress. And what was once invisible has become essential. We built machines to think, to help us dream bigger. Children now play with the stars. Satellites orbit above. And doors of light open to unknown frontiers. This is not science fiction. It is now. And those who build the invisible make the future possible. The next step for humanity starts here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tech Capital Finance Forum 2025.
We might have used AI a little bit to help us with that video. So that probably consumed 2 glasses of water. There we are. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound honor to welcome you to the Tech Capital's 4th International Finance Forum. We got it here today at a key moment in history, in the history of our sector, an era defined by rapid advancements, shifting geopolitical dynamics, and the imperative to finance the digital infrastructure upon which our collective future depends. I extend a warm greeting to representatives from nearly 40 nations, each of whom brings unique perspectives, expertise, and determination to this global dialogue. When we conceived IFF, our vision was to build more than a mere conference. We aspired to create a stage for collaboration, innovation, and policy stewardship, an enduring platform where governments, private sector leaders, multilateral institutions, and civil society converge to shape the future of digital infrastructure, finance, and investment. Our mission is ambitious yet clear: to foster sustainable investments, sound regulatory frameworks, and resilient governance structures that will support global prosperity for decades to come. The themes we will explore over the next hours, from investment strategies to policy and regulatory design, risk mitigation, and the mobilization of capital toward underserved regions, have never been more consequential. Recent developments remind us of the stakes we face. Firstly, a new American administration and shifting policy priorities are bringing with it a lot of change. The transition in Washington heralds a recalibration of US foreign economic policy, trade agreements, and multilateral finance commitments. As the world's largest economy reevaluates its approach to digital infrastructure investment and data governance, we must anticipate and adapt to evolving export credit frameworks, development finance institution mandates, and cross-border data flows. Our task is to ensure that capital deployment remains efficient, inclusive, and aligned with global sustainability goals. Secondly, ongoing and escalating armed conflicts from Eastern Europe to Asia to the Horn of Africa and beyond, armed conflicts threaten critical digital and physical networks alike. Under such duress, the resilience of telecommunications grids, satellite systems, and data centers becomes not just a matter of commercial continuity, but one of national security and humanitarian relief. We must therefore pioneer financing mechanisms such as blended finance, public-private partnerships, and novel insurance instruments that can withstand geopolitical shocks and secure investments in high-risk environments. Thirdly, AI sovereignty and regulatory convergence are changing the game. Artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize every domain of our lives and businesses. Yet, the nascent field of AI sovereignty poses profound questions of who controls the data, the algorithms, and computing infrastructure that underpin these systems. As nations draft frameworks to preserve strategic autonomy over AI assets, divergent standards threaten to fragment markets and impede flows of talent and capital. Our dialogue must address how to de-escalate hostile rhetoric and harmonize regulatory regimes without stifling competition or innovation, and how to finance the infrastructure such as advanced microprocessor fabs, edge computing nodes, and high bandwidth networks upon which AI ecosystems are built. And fourthly, climate imperatives and sustainable infrastructure are the only path forwards. The transition to net zero economies compels us to rethink every aspect of infrastructure planning. Digital networks themselves carry substantial environmental footprints, from energy-intensive data centers to undersea cable manufacturing. As American philosopher Henry David Thoreau reminded us in his 1851 journal, "What's the use of a house if you haven't got a tolerable planet to put it on?" In borrowing Thoreau's timeless warning, we recognize that no matter how advanced our digital house may be, it is rendered futile without a healthy, sustainable Earth. We stand at the threshold of a sustainable digital revolution, one in which green bonds, sustainability-linked loans, and carbon offset frameworks can steer investment toward low-impact tech solutions. Forging these pathways demands deep technical expertise, rigorous impact measurements, and a shared commitment to long-term stewardship. These challenges and the opportunities they present underscore why this forum is both timely and necessary. Over the coming sessions, you will hear from distinguished speakers from the world's largest pools of capital, operational portfolios, and disruptive firms who are challenging the status quo of how we've built this industry for the past few decades. In remembering the past, we must also look into the future. Our collective success will not rest solely on intellectual exchange and business-as-usual mindset. The true test lies in forging actionable commitments. And to that end, I encourage each of you to engage with openness and curiosity, challenge assumptions, probe new models, and share both successes and failures. Seek partnerships across sectors and across borders. Remember that complex problems defy siloed solutions. Co-creation between public and private actors is the only reliable path forward. Uphold principles of inclusion and equity. Digital infrastructure must serve every community, leaving no one behind. Prioritize projects that enhance access for marginalized populations and emerging economies. Commit to accountability and transparency, because transparent governance and clear metrics will build trust among investors, regulators, and the public. And in closing, let me express my deepest gratitude to our more than 60 sponsors and partners, including EdgeConnect, CyrusOne, Siemens & Siemens, Infra Partners, Schneider Electric, and Goldacre, and the dedicated team whose tireless effort has brought this forum to fruition over the last 8 months. We have endured our very own journey at the Tech Capital from our inaugural gathering 4 years ago, actually, this is the 4th one, to this moment of growth and memory, each milestone marking our commitment to delivering the latest insights from this sector daily to your inbox. To that extent, we have expanded our portfolio in recent months with many new assets, including the launch of a new magazine, which you all have access to today for the first time. And we have also launched new events, smaller versions of this event in LATAM and the Middle East, in addition to the Asia-Pacific region, our Infra AI Forum, which we launched in March in the Athenian Riviera, and then, of course, the IFF Forum, this one that you are on. And there's plenty more to come, including our expansion to the US in 2026. But above all, I thank you, our readers and delegates, for lending your intellect, experience, and passion to this endeavor. Together, we will chart a course toward a more informed, connected, secure, and sustainable world. And for now, just a bit of housekeeping. So your MCs for today will be my colleague Jack Adden here in this theater, and Julia Vokrock in the theater next door from after the morning break. Those attending the roundtables, those are taking place just across the rotunda in the library. For those attending the symposiums on the double-edged sword of visibility and the next decade of digital infrastructure, a 35 and the 35 special, these are taking place on the ground floor. And lastly, for those joining us for the Global Awards tonight, a reminder that they are taking place at Symphony Smith Square, which is roughly a 10-minute walk from here. If you need any assistance, just let the team know and I will come and help you. And with that said, it is now my privilege to declare the Tech Capital's 4th International Finance Forum officially open.